All right, welcome. We're diving into Module 4 of our course on auditing and regulatory compliance. And today, we are all about packaging and labeling. Now, this is the last module in our unit on auditing vendors and the production department, and we're tackling what's often called medicine's final frontier. Because, as you're about to see, once a product is sealed and ready to go, the stakes are just incredibly high. That's why the systems we're talking about today are a huge focus for any pharmaceutical auditor.
You know, that phrase, final frontier, really hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures the pressure here. Once that carton is sealed, that's it. It's on its way to a pharmacy and then to a patient. There are no do-overs. This is the last possible moment you have to get it right. So here's what it all boils down to. The single biggest risk that keeps auditors and quality professionals up at night is a simple mix-up. Imagine a blister pack of 10 milligram tablets accidentally getting packed into a 5 milligram box. The consequences for a patient could be absolutely devastating. And that's exactly why the entire quality system for packaging is built to prevent this one specific critical error. Okay, so how do we start to build our defenses? Well, the very first thing an auditor is going to look at is how we deal with the ghosts of batches past. This is all about making absolutely sure the packaging line is perfectly clean and completely free of anything from the last product that was running on it. Just think about it for a second. What if one tiny pill from yesterday's batch, a totally different medicine, maybe for a totally different condition, is hiding somewhere in the machine? That one stray tablet could end up in the wrong bottle, creating a massive, massive risk. So before a new batch can even begin, we have to go on a ghost hunt. And this hunt has an official name: line clearance. Now, this isn't just a quick wipe down with a cloth. It is a systematic, documented process that's required by good manufacturing practices. You can almost think of it like a forensic sweep of a crime scene, making sure every last trace of the previous batch is gone before the next one starts. An auditor is going to be meticulous here. They'll be looking in every little nook and cranny, in the reject bins, down the chutes, under the machine guards. And here's the standard. Finding even one stray leaflet or a single tablet from the last batch is an automatic critical failure. The line cannot start until both a production supervisor and a quality assurance officer have signed off in the official logbook saying, yes, this line is 100% clear. So, the line is clean. Fantastic. But that's only half the battle. Now we have to be absolutely certain that the materials we're about to load onto that clean line are the right ones for the new batch. This is where human error can so easily sneak in. I mean, you've got rolls of labels, stacks of cartons, piles of leaflets. A lot of them can look very, very similar. So how do you guarantee that the operator grabs the right one every single time? The solution is a kind of trust but verify system we call the 3-check protocol. First, the warehouse only issues materials that are listed in the batch packing record. That's the master recipe for the whole run. Second, when the production team gets those materials, they check the codes to verify them. And third, quality assurance comes in and does a final, independent verification before anything gets loaded. An auditor will want to see the paperwork for this, proving that someone physically compared, say, the roll of labels to the master specimen in the BPR and signed off that it's a perfect match. Okay, let's move on to the line itself, which is now running. We have a cleared line, we have verified materials, but modern pharmaceutical manufacturing is, well, it's incredibly fast. And that speed introduces a whole new challenge for quality control. Get your head around this number: 300 cartons a minute. That is 5 complete boxes flying past a single point every single second. It is physically impossible for a human being to reliably check every single one of those units for the correct lot number, the right expiry date, the right leaflet. It just can't be done. So if our eyes can't do it, we turn to machines. We use high-speed scanners and cameras that act like these tireless, vigilant robot guardians on the line, and they check every single item that flies past. And these guardians, they speak a special language. It's called pharmacode. It's a type of barcode designed just for this. Every carton, every leaflet has one. A scanner on the machine reads that code and instantly knows if it's the right piece for the puzzle. And if it spots an imposter, it takes action. Now here's the cool part. An auditor doesn't just trust that the scanner is working. They test it. They'll run something called a challenge test. They'll actually ask the operator to deliberately put a wrong carton onto the moving line. And the test is simple. Does the machine see the mistake? Does the scanner read the wrong code and trigger the rejection system to physically kick that one wrong box off the line? If it does, the Guardian is doing its job. If it misses it, that's a critical failure.
Okay, so the product is packed, it's been checked by robots, it's coming off the line, we're done, right? Not even close. Now comes the accounting. Every single piece of packaging material has to be accounted for. This is what I like to call the math of security.
Let's just walk through a classic reconciliation audit. According to the batch record, the warehouse issued exactly 10,000 labels for this batch. At the end of the run, the final count of good, packed bottles is 9,900. And on top of that, the operators returned 50 labels that got damaged during setup. So let's do the math. We have 9,900 labels on good bottles, plus 50 damaged ones that were returned. That adds up to 9,950 labels accounted for. But we were issued 10,000. That means we have 50 labels that have just vanished.
And this is the question that stops a batch dead in its tracks. Where did they go? Are they just in the trash can? Or, and this is the nightmare scenario, did they somehow get mixed into another product's packaging run? Until that difference is investigated and a solid reason is found, that entire batch of medicine cannot be released. The numbers have to add up. Period.
And that brings us to the final, outermost layer of security. This is one that goes way beyond the factory walls and out into the global supply chain. It's known as serialization, or track and trace.
It works through a really neat concept called aggregation. The easiest way to think about it is like a family tree. Every single carton of medicine is a child, and it gets its own unique serial number. When you pack a bunch of these children into a larger shipping case, that case becomes the parent, and the system creates a digital link. So if you scan the parent case, you instantly know the unique serial number of every single child inside. This unique serial number gets printed right onto the carton in a 2D matrix code. You've probably seen them. Then, when that box gets all the way to the pharmacy, the pharmacist can scan it. That scan pings a central global database to confirm, yes, this is a real, legitimate product, not a fake. It's an incredibly powerful tool in fighting counterfeit drugs all over the world.
So when you step back, you can see all these interconnected layers of protection, right? Each one is a critical point an auditor is going to examine. You've got the meticulous line clearance, the redundant 3-check system, the validated robot guardians, the precise math of reconciliation, and finally, that unique digital passport of serialization for every single pack. It's an unbelievably robust system, but it leaves us with a really important question for the future of auditing. As these automated systems get more and more complex, does the main risk shift away from a simple human mistake to a systemic failure inside a process that we've come to trust completely? It's something to think about. This concludes our module on packaging and labeling and our entire unit on auditing the production department. Thanks for joining me.